Hey, greetings, what's up? Salutations, what's happening? Todd Falcone here. Welcome back to another episode. In today's episode, we're going to talk about this. The reason you're afraid to call people. Interesting, isn't it? I've had way too many conversations to even get into on people that say they want to be successful, they want to win, but they can't pick up the phone and engage somebody in conversation. But 5 minutes later, they can call their bro and go, hey, dude, what's going on? But you can't call somebody to say, look, I've just launched this business. I'm super pumped about it. I'd love to show you what I'm doing. You need to take a peek at this. And they can't do that, or they can't seem to summon it up to follow up with the person. They get increasingly frustrated. They hang out in this space for eons, never making any money or barely making ends meet, barely dribbling along. And I'm not saying that you need to be on the phone all day long. That's not the point of this episode. The point of this episode is you understanding why you're afraid to pick up the phone. I mean, you want to know why? Because you're too concerned about what that other person thinks about you. You have put them on some kind of pedestal in your mind. Doesn't matter what pedestal, but you put them someplace, and you're worried about being judged. And look, we could go into the litany of fears. I'm fear of success, fear of failure, fear of screwing up, fear of not knowing what to say, fear of not knowing what to say after they ask a question, whatever. It all comes down to you're worried about how somebody's going to judge you or perceive you. And then the question is, how do you get past that? How do you get through that? And let me give you some personal relatability here. So when I began my journey of being an entrepreneur in network marketing, I was 22, young, hungry, coachable, all those things, by the way. Hungry and coachable are the two ones. I happen to be young, naive. Maybe that was good too. Didn't know any better, right? And I wanted to figure it out. And so I did what I was taught and told to do. I wrote down my list, because that's what we did back in the late 1980s, early 1990s. I wrote down my list of everybody that I'd known since kindergarten, took out my memory jogger, started writing everything down on paper. I was a good student. I started calling those people, and oh my gosh, I was so nervous and butterflies in my stomach. You know, why would they? Well, I've never made any money. Why would they follow me? Why would they listen to me? You know, I've never made a dime. I've worked at Jack in the Box, McDonald's, and parking cars at Kelly's Restaurant. I got no business background. Why are they? And I was so caught up in my head about how people were going to perceive me. I still did it, though. That's the difference, okay? I still made the calls. I still did it. I'm not saying that there wasn't the nervous energy, the butterflies, the cotton mouth, the sweatiness, the unsuredness, or I don't even know if that's a word or not, but that's the way I felt, unsure of myself. And so this is very prevalent in our business, okay? It is so prevalent that what people do, unfortunately now, because they can, is they hide. And some of you have heard me talk about this before. They hide behind a computer screen. And it's like they're sitting in a closet. They don't have to go outside and face the big bad wolf. They can just hide behind their keyboard and never actually face reality. And never, because I mean the truth is, like, I mean, we're online, is that reality? I'm not saying we can't make real connections and any of that stuff, but you know, hiding and behind a keyboard and expecting that you're going to build a gigantic booming business without communicating with other people, like using your mouth, your lips, your tongue, your vocal cords, and actually having a conversation with one of your prospects. I mean, who the hell is going to give you money? They're going to give you money to somebody who's like messaged back and forth but can't even get on the phone with you? I ain't giving you my money. I'm not joining you. I'm certainly not following somebody who can't even get on a Zoom with me and look at me eyeball to eyeball, or talk to me on the phone or whatever it is. And the real concept here is, I use the phone, for example, in the subject line of this post, but it could be getting on a Zoom with somebody. It could be engaging someone in a real conversation in person. It could be on the phone. It could be any time that you're actually communicating, interactive communication, which quite frankly, Facebook Messenger is not interactive communication. It's let me send you a voice shot. And look, that's way better than sending a message with your fingers like, hey, John, da-da-da-da-da, what's up, blah, blah, blah. And then they fire one back to you, and then you fire one back to them. But it's not totally interactive, right? And to me, this is a mandatory skill. If you're going to win in business, you need to be able to communicate. Now, I mean, you could, if you're a computer coder sitting in the back room, you could get away with it and never talk to anybody. But in a network marketing business where people are involved, people are buying products and services, people are building teams, you need to be able to engage people in conversation. And so how do I, what's the reason? Well, I told you the reason, and it could be a sub-reason, but you're worried about what somebody's going to think of you. So you don't even pick up the phone and call somebody because you're so worried about, oh my gosh, I'm going to be judged. They're judging you anyhow. It doesn't even matter. They're already judging you. So if they're already judging you, what's the big loss of saying, John, I've got this thing that I'm doing. I'm pretty fired up about it. I don't know if this is anything that you'd even be interested in or not, but hey, would you do me a favor and take a peek at this video and let me know what you think? I'm not even saying that's the invite. It wasn't even a great invite. I pulled that out of my rear end. But at least I did it. At least I summoned up the courage, one call at a time, one conversation at a time, and that's how you get good at it. So when I started, I was not good, right? I would actually use the word pathetic because that's what I was. I was a pathetic network marketer. Scared, pathetic network marketer. Hungry, coachable, had a big desire, but pathetic. And I wanted it so bad. And this is something you have to look at. Because if you're sitting there saying, I want to be successful, but I can't get on the phone or I can't engage people in conversation, you don't really want to be successful. You say you do, but if you really wanted success, there would not be an obstacle. The obstacle of engaging somebody in conversation about what you do would not be an obstacle because what's over there on the other side is so much bigger than what you're experiencing right now. So, and I've had many, many conversations with people. This is so ridiculously prevalent. It is commonplace in this business where people, the numbers, I don't know what the numbers are, but I'll just say the numbers are very high of people that just don't act because they're just worried. They're fearful. They're fearful of being judged, of what somebody else is going to think of them, so they never even do it. Now, again, it could be some subcategory of that, but that's the reason. That's the one reason why you're not picking up the phone, why you're not getting, committing, saying, hey, let's hop on a Zoom and have a conversation. Let's have a chat. Let's meet for coffee if they're local. It's because you're worried about how you're going to be perceived. And the moment you let go of that, the moment you're like, I don't really care what you think of me, whether I'm doing this or not, I'm doing it anyhow. This is where I'm going. You'll actually have a lot more people follow you because you got balls to go do it. You've got the guts, the intestinal fortitude that you're going to, even though you may not know what the heck you're doing, you're still going to do it anyhow until you get it figured out. That was me. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I was sweating my way through it, and I was stuttering my way through it, and I was learning every step of the way because you can never get good at the thing that you never do. It's something I've said so many times. I've said it to my kids. I've said it to network marketers. I've said it to entrepreneurs. How can you possibly get good at the thing that you never step into? How can you get good at hitting a golf club if you've never had a golf club in your hand? How can you get good at fishing if you've never had a fishing pole in your hand? How can you get good at network marketing, prospecting and network marketing if you've never prospected somebody? You're like, I'm not good at it. Like my youngest kid, I've said this before in a couple other videos. My youngest kid's like, I'm taking fishing the first time. He's like, Dad, I'm not good at it. And he starts crying. I'm like, buddy, you've never done it before. How can you expect to be good at something that I'm just not good at it? But buddy, you've never done it before. I'm just not good at it. Well, I know you're not good at it because you've never done it before. But now all of a sudden he's like my, fishing buddy, and he's very good at fishing because he's done it over and over again. He's actually listened to the advice of somebody who's good at fishing, which happens to be me, his dad, and he's improved greatly. He had an eagerness, he had a desire to improve. Look, you wouldn't even be here if you didn't have a desire to improve. But you got to get real with yourself. If you're sitting there and you're not, look, this is for a specific group of people. And the people that needed this are the ones that opened this up. Those are the ones that are like, yeah, why am I not picking up the phone? Why am I, the reason you're not picking up the phone And look, or let's just say engaging people in a real interactive conversation is because you're afraid. You're afraid of what they're going to think of you, how they're going to judge you, how they're going to respond to you. And how are you ever going to get past that? There's no pill. Can't throw you a pill. Choke this down. You're good. The pill that you have to swallow is one meeting at a time, one bumbled call at a time. Oh my God, that was terrible. That was awful. Okay, fine. Shake yourself off, get up and do it again. Big deal. And your ability to work through those things, that's when you're going to create big success. That's when you're going to create the success that you're looking for. You're never going to create the success sitting there and getting to the spinning cycle of never doing anything like so many marketers do. Network marketers get in this spinning cycle of like they don't do anything. Or they, do a Facebook post and they keep their fingers crossed. Hope somebody calls me and joins my business. That's not how you build a business. I'm not saying you can't do that kind of stuff to draw people in. But man, you got to go intentionally build a business. Look, man, I'm launching this business. I'm looking for some amazing people to partner up with. Are you open to taking a look at a great business vehicle? I'm not even saying that's the invite, but it's like, and I pulled that one out of my rear end too. But if you never ask, you never what? You never get. So the key for you is just embracing, okay, all right, yeah, I'm not picking up the phone because I'm scared. Okay, cool. So now face the fear. And I've done this many times with people. It's called a linking strategy. And the linking strategy works like this. Tomorrow your objective is if you're frozen, you're one of those people, you make one call, one single call. That's it. Your day is done. Like you can go play the rest of the day. You pick up the phone, you prospect one person. But then when you're done prospecting that one person, even if it didn't go well, you get off the phone, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm still breathing. Whoa, I did not die from that experience. Oh, I'm here. I'm physically here. Okay, beautiful. And if you can do one, you can do two. If you can do two, you can do four. If you can do four, you can do eight. And every call, every experience, everything that you do along the way is going to help you to improve. Same thing for me with speaking. I've been professionally speaking for over 16 years. You don't think the first couple times I was on stage, I was scared to death? Oh my gosh, I was fine. The night before I'm speaking, no worries. The morning of, I'm fine. 2 hours before, now I'm getting nervous. An hour, 15 minutes before, my heart rate's increasing. Where'd the saliva go in my mouth? I have to pee every 5 minutes before getting up on the stage because I don't know what happens. I guess the bladder just starts to constrict with nervousness. I'm not a biologist, but that's probably something that happens in the body when you're nervous. Haven't even drank anything, and I've had to pee 5 times before I get up there, and then I do it. And I wasn't very good speaking the first few times, but I just kept speaking. I kept studying other successful speakers. I kept watching other successful people. I kept applying the things that successful speakers were doing, and I was doing it. I kept speaking over and over and over again. Anything that you want to get good at, in this case, engaging people in conversation, which is an important and it's a critical skill set in business, period. It takes, time in, okay? You can't get good at the thing that you keep avoiding. So if you're one of those avoiding people, it's time to stop the avoiding. There goes my dog. Both of my dogs. So anyhow, listen, love you guys, appreciate you. If you're on my YouTube channel, what's up, YouTubers? If you're on my podcast, listening to me on audio, beautiful as well. Rest of this episode, you can find me toddfalcone.com/episode 156. TODDFALCONE.com/episode 156. Have an amazing day. We'll see you next time.